house east of Tampa and have lived for the last 31 years in Pinellas County. I'm running for the Florida Senate District 16, which is South Tampa and eastern Pinellas County. Had the honor of serving in the Florida Senate from 1994 to 2002, representing North Pinellas County. And this district has some of my old district in it. Really did not intend to run again for office, but after being out in the Senate for a few years, watching what's transpired as a result of term limits in Tallahassee, I haven't really liked a lot of what I've seen. And I decided that I would try to go back, offer myself up once again, maybe take a little gray hair, a little experience back up there and try to help them solve some of the very serious problems that we've got in our state. Right now, Florida has one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation. We have a property insurance system that's built on it. It's like a house of cards ready to come tumbling down. We have schools that in many cases are failing our children. And I think it's time to have some doers in Tallahassee and the legislature as opposed to all talkers. And if you've seen my TV ad, you know I say that very straight-spoken way, which is the way I deal with people and which is the way I would be honored to represent you as a member of the Florida Senate.
Our next candidate, Hayden Young. I'm sorry, Nina Hayden. I'm sorry. Skipping ahead.
Hello, hi. My name is Nina Hayden. I'm running for the State Senate seat, District number 16. It does incorporate about 2/3 of Pinellas County, and the other 1/3 is here. I'm an attorney. I work in the Public Defender's Office where I represent juveniles that are charged as adults, and I've been there for about 8 years. I'm also an elected official on the school board where we represent children in about 143 schools, and we govern over about a $1.3 billion budget. I'm running for the state of Florida because some of the things that have happened in Tallahassee, especially with regards to education. I'm passionate about the community in which I live. I have proven over 10 years of community service that I care about my constituency. You know, some people may say, you know, why don't you make millions of dollars before you go to Tallahassee and before you decide to go and run? Well, I've decided instead I'm going to work in the community and I'm going to run now while I'm passionate, while I have the energy, while I'm connected to those in the community and those individuals that I care about most. I've worked as a volunteer with the school board system. I mentor kids in the school board system, and I am very, very excited about this opportunity to run. So I ask that you look at my website at ninahagan.com and take a look at some of my views and my opinions, and I ask for your vote on November the 2nd. Thank you very much.
And now, David.
Yes, last but not least, thank you all for being here, for staying. I thought we would lose everyone. I'm Dana Young. I'm running for the State House District 57, which is all of South Tampa, all the way up to Racetrack Road on the Pinellas County line. So it's a big district. Just a little about me. I'm married. I've lived here in Tampa for many years. I have 2 kids that are 10 and 12, and I am a 6th-generation Floridian. There are not a lot of us around, and I am proud to be. People often ask me why I'm running for office, and I'm running because I care so deeply about this state and about this community that my family and I call home. And it's my responsibility to go to Tallahassee and not just represent my beliefs, but to make your voice heard, to listen to what you have to say, and to represent you in Tallahassee. I look around at my family and my friends, and I see how the economy is affecting every decision that they make from day to day. I look at my kids and the wonderful educational opportunities that they have, and I believe that those excellent educational opportunities should be available to every child, not just the children that have good zip codes. And I'm so grateful to our first responders like David G, who do everything in their power to make our communities and our neighborhoods safe. We need to make sure that they continue to have the tools and the support from those of us in office to let them do their job to the best of their ability. I have walked this district. I have walked this district going on 3 times. And I have talked to Republicans, I've talked to independents, and I've And everyone I talk to says, thank you for listening, thank you for being here. We want you to represent us and do what you can to give us true jobs in this community. And what I tell them is I believe and I will take forward the message of limited government, less taxes, and more personal responsibility. And I would be honored to be your representative in District 57. Thank you.
We'll start the questions with Nina, go to Dana, come back to Jack, and then we'll kind of take it in order so that nobody has any unfair advantage here. These are a set of questions that have been prepared by the nice folks who have put together this forum, so I'm happy to read them to you. In terms of weighing candidates, right versus wrong, far outweighs right versus left, Democrat versus Republican. There's too much partisanship in all aspects of politics, eroding the public's trust. My question to you is, will you always vote on the true merits of legislation despite pressure to vote on party lines?
I think that's an excellent question. You know, as an attorney, I've had the opportunity to learn the skills, the negotiating skills, to work across the aisle. I've been in several different cases where I've had the opportunity to work, quote unquote, against the other side and come up with a fair and just result. I will not always vote my party lines. Those that know me, they know that I'm a person that has character and integrity, and I stand for what I believe in. I will vote my conscience, and I will look at my constituency. I'll have their input, and I will vote what is just and fair for my district. Thank you.
Yes, I think that it is time for brave, independent thinkers at all levels of government. We need people at local, state, and federal levels that are willing to look at the issues, understand them, look at every side from every angle possible, and to make the decisions that are most effective and the best for all of us. And I, as an attorney, I am trained to do that. As a person that loves this state, I am motivated to do that. And as a parent, I would be making those decisions for my children as well. Thank you.
I think one of the things that I left Tallahassee with after my service 8 years before was a reputation for being a very, very independent senator who followed his song and did what I thought was best for the people that I represented. And I guess the best measure of that would be in kind of the cross-section of groups that have chosen to endorse me in this race. I have the Florida Chamber of Commerce and the Florida Retail Federation on the business side. I have the AFL-CIO and the public safety unions, the DVA, and the firefighters on the other side. I have the doctors on this side. I have the nurses on this side. Teachers, school administrators. So I have a broad section of people who work with me in the past and who know the kind of job that I try to do for the people I represent.
All right, our next question. How do you propose to balance the state budget in the face of decreasing sales tax revenues? Dana, get the team.
Yes, this is a critical question. I don't know how many of you have heard the latest budget deficit figure for next year at the state level, but it is $6 billion. That is a very, very large number. And chipping away at it is not the answer at this point. We have got to look for broad, brave solutions. And the first large chunk that we need to tackle is Medicaid, because Medicaid makes up 1/3 of our state budget, about $20 billion. So we have got to look at how we can make Medicaid more efficient, how we can deliver services less expensively, and how to cut out the fraud ways. After we do that, we need to look at state agencies and figure out how to make them work more efficiently. And if there are economies of scale in joining agencies together or cutting out agencies altogether, then we need to look at doing that as well.
I think we need to take a two-pronged approach. Consolidation and cutting the budget on one side and some revenue enhancements on the other side. In departments that have their own police departments. Sworn law enforcement officers with all the benefits. We have the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Environmental Protection, as well as the more traditional agencies that you're aware of. We have a Department of Health, an agency for healthcare administration. There is still a consolidation that can take place. On the other side of the coin, we have $1.5 billion a year in internet sales tax that doesn't get collected. And it puts our retailers, people who build stores and hire people in Florida, at a competitive disadvantage. And I think we need to look very carefully at that as well.
You know, you can talk about all the things that we have stated here in terms of looking at the tax loopholes, looking at the exclusions, looking at the money that is spent, the millions and millions of dollars that will have to be spent on the prisons, looking at streamlining government. Here's the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that there's no real transparency in the budget process. And what happens is monies that are supposed to be appropriated to different agencies, for example, for education, and some of the other agencies that are most important in the state are taken and used to build the Taj Mahal, a $48 million courthouse. That's the problem that we have. You don't want to look at, and many people talk about cutting programs. We don't want to cut those programs that are important to our community. What we want to do is make the legislators accountable for the money that they do get and make sure that they are using it responsibly and justly.
All right, here's a question that kind of goes hand in hand with that last one, and maybe you can expand on your last answer, Jack. How would you go about cutting fraud and waste in state government?
Well, there's, I can think of one item in particular that there's a lot of concerns about some of this purchasing that's done in the state government, and the way some of the contracts are arrived at, competitive bid process, and the way some of the bids are lined up so that they favor the incumbent companies and so forth. So, you know, but really, you know, there's peanuts there when you're facing a several billion-dollar shortfall in revenue. You got to look at a bigger picture. Medicaid is obviously an area where there is some waste and fraud. Managed care might answer some of those questions. But we have to look at what's best for the people and not what's best for the special interests that are trying to administer the contracts and trying to do, to sell to the state and to sell to the program.
I think a great way to reduce fraud and waste in state government is to look at our campaign laws. And if you really look at the connection between where a lot of the fraud and the waste is coming from, the fraud and the waste is coming from most politicians that are run by the lobbyist interests who are giving them lots of money. There is a direct connection between those that are elected to stay in office, those lobbyists that elect them, and then expect the favors because they got them in the office. That is what we need to look at. We need to make sure that any individual can have the opportunity to be elected and that it's done honestly.
Okay, whoops. I'm going to take Nina's shoe with me. There is no question that we need to cut government spending. And we need to make our government live like we live in our own households. We need to live within our means. We need to make cuts even if they're hard. And we need to make a decision on what do we want versus what do we really need. So that's a very good place to start. In addition, eliminating duplication between departments in certain areas. Like Jack said, that is peanuts when you look at the big picture, but it certainly is worth looking at. And then Jack also made a very good point about purchasing, and I think that when you're talking about large purchases at the state level, that's something that can be looked at. So we need to take a scalpel to the budget and do what we can.